me again. Are you ready for a story? I do hope the answer to that one is yes, because I've got a little friend here. Come and see us. Say hello. Here he is. Say hello, little horse. He said, Jemima, did you have a fantastic 8th birthday? I do hope you got lots of presents and cards and really enjoyed your Harry Potter birthday. And is Lola having her tea again while she's watching it? Say hello. Hello, Lola. And what about Annabelle? Is Annabelle there as well? Annabelle, are you there with your mummy too? And all the other children in Stony Stanton and Barwell and Earl Shilton? Give them a little wave. Say hello, little horse. Oh, are you? He says he's very, very excited today. He's got a story all about a royal member of the family. Have you? Are you going to go fetch him? Oh my goodness me, I can see this is going to be one of my favourites already. Right, little horse, sit yourself down, you know what to do. Here is little horse's story today. And it's all about a girl called Emily Brown and her rabbit. But this rabbit, that rabbit there belongs to Emily Brown. Just so that you are sure. Absolutely sure. It was written by a lady called Cressida Cowell and illustrated by a gentleman named Neil Layton. I really like the pictures in this book. They just absolutely blow my mind away. That rabbit belongs to Emily Brown. Now, I don't know about you, but Emily Brown is the sort of girl who has a terrific imagination and loves to play stories with her toys. I really do. I do hope you do too. Now, once upon a time, there was a girl called Emily Brown and an old grey rabbit that she had called Stanley. One day, Emily Brown and Stanley were launching themselves into outer space. Look at that. Are they really in space? Or are they just pretending to be in their head? That's the brilliant thing about being at home, the brilliant thing about being pretend wherever you are. You can do whatever you like, be whatever you want to be in your head. One day, Emily Brown and Stanley were launching themselves into outer space to look for aliens when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the kitchen door. Who that could be? It was the chief footman to the Queen. Here he is. Look at him, doesn't he look posh? The Queen has very kindly noticed your rabbit, and she would like to have that bunny wunny. In return, she will offer you this brand new golden teddy bear. What do you think? Do you think Emily wants to swap? I'm not sure. Emily Brown looked at the Queen's teddy bear. It was stiff, it was new, it was golden, and it was horrible. It had staring eyes and it had no smile at all. No, thank you, said Emily Brown. This rabbit is not for sale, and his name is not Bunny Wunny, his name is Stanley. And with that, Emily Brown shut the door very politely. Good job. I don't think Stanley wants to go with the Queen. So, why should the Queen have Stanley? An hour or so later, Emily Brown and Stanley were just riding through the Sahara Desert on the motorbike when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. There they go, zooming through the Sahara Desert. And there's the garden door. Is there normally a door in the garden, or is it all in Emily Brown's head? What do you think? This time it was the army. The captain saluted and said, Her Most Royal Highness Queen Gloriana III greets Miss Emily Brown, and she would still like to have that bunny wunny. In return, she offers Emily Brown the brand new golden teddy bear and 10 talking dolls that say, Mama, Mama. And there he is, the captain with the dolls. 10 dolls. It's a lot of dolls. Wonder what Emily Brown's going to do. Emily Brown said, I don't want 10 talking dolls. I want my rabbit. And his name isn't Bunny Wunny, it's Stanley. And with that, she sent the captain of the army away. A bit less politely this time. Now then, a few days later, Emily Brown and Stanley were just deep sea diving off the barrier reef when all of a sudden there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. There they are, look. Very busy off the deep sea, off the reef, deep sea diving, and rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door again. I didn't know there was a door in the sea. This time it was the Navy. The Chief of the Navy, the Admiral, saluted and said, Her Royal Highness Gloriana, Royalness Queen Gloriana III greets Miss Emily Brown, and she would like you to hand over your rabbit at your earliest convenience. She points out that she is the poshest person around here, and the rabbit would be much better off with her. In return, she offers you 1 brand new golden teddy bear, 10 talking dolls that say, Mama, Mama, and 50 rocking horses that will rock forever. What do you think? It's a big lot of toys on offer there. Stanley, are you going to have a new owner? I wonder. I don't care who she is, said Emily Brown. That rabbit belongs to me. And his name isn't Bunny Wunny, it's Stanley. And with that, she curtly sent the Navy away. Oh dear, look at his face. Don't think he thinks that Her Highness Royal Gloriana is going to be very happy with this. Well, a few weeks later, Emily Brown and Stanley were just climbing through the Amazonian rainforest when suddenly there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. Look at that, what an adventure. That's the one I want to go on, in the rainforest. I wonder who it could be at the garden door. Can't be the army, they got sent away. Can't be the Navy, they got sent away. It's the Air Force. The wing commander saluted Emily and said, Her Excellence, the most mighty Queen Gloriana III, greets Miss Emily Brown and says she must have that Bunny ready right now, or she will not answer for the consequences. In return, she will give you a brand new golden teddy bear, 10 talking dolls that say, Mama, Mama, 50 rocking horses that rock forever, and all the toys that you could ever wish for. What would you have done? What would you have done? What's your favourite toy in the whole world? What's the thing you take to bed with you? Would you give it away for all those talking dolls, all those rocking horses, and every other toy you could ever desire? There's the captain of the Air Force with his fingers crossed, hoping to goodness that Emily Brown is going to make that decision. Let's see. Now, Emily Brown was really fed up with this, so she sent the Air Force away and she pinned a big notice to the garden gate. There it is. And it said, This rabbit is not for sale, and his name is not Bunny Wunny, it's Stanley. Emily Brown. And that should have been the end of the matter. But it wasn't. A few months later, Emily Brown and Stanley were laying fast asleep, dreaming of all the adventures that they would have the next day, when there was absolutely no noise at all at the door, or the gate, or the window. In crept the Queen's special commanders. whilst Emily was asleep, they stole Emily's rabbit, the one that belonged to Emily Brown. Stole it. Is that okay? I don't think it is. When Emily Brown woke up the next morning, for the first time in her life, there was no Stanley. I really don't like the way this story's going. I've got to have a word. Little horse, are you sure this story's going to end up okay? Okay, he said keep going. We'll keep going then, shall we? Emily Brown was so cross. She knew just what had happened. She marched right up to the palace on the hill and she knocked on that naughty queen's front door. Rat-a-tat, a-tat. Emily Brown ran into the palace. There she goes. But there was the naughty queen. And she was crying. Something was wrong. And the first thing she said was, "Oh, thank goodness you've come, Emily Brown. There's something wrong with Bunny Wunny." What's happened to Stanley? Oh my goodness me. I don't think I want to look at the next page. You don't want to see this, do you? You don't want to see this, do you? Are you sure? Are you really sure? There was indeed something very wrong with Stanley. What happened to him? That silly naughty queen had put him in the royal washing machine. All night he'd been in there and he came out an odd pink colour. The royal dressmakers had stuffed him full of stuffing. So he wasn't a flippy floppy Stanley anymore. Worst of all, they had sewn up his mouth. So now he looked miserable. Stanley was not smiling anymore. Stanley was a miserable Bunny Wunny. Dear, oh dear. Oh, Emily Brown, Emily Brown, Emily Brown, is there anything you can do? Asked the silly, silly naughty queen. There certainly is, said Emily Brown. I shall take Stanley home with me. And that silly queen started crying louder and louder than ever before. I have all the toys in the world, but not one of them is as nice as Stanley, she said. Look at her, making herself all red in the face, crying so hard. She can't have Stanley. Stanley doesn't belong to her. But Emily Brown felt sorry for that silly queen, so she went to the royal toy cupboard and she took down a brand new golden teddy bear and she placed it gently in the queen's lap. Emily Brown whispered so no one else could hear. Here, Queen, you take that horrid, brand new, stiff, golden teddy. Here's the secret. You play with him. You play with him all day. You sleep with him at night, every night. You hold him very tight and you have lots and lots and lots of adventures. Then one day maybe, you'll wake up with a real toy of your own. And with that, Emily Brown and Stanley went home, leaving the Queen with the brand new golden teddy bear. She didn't shout after her. She didn't stop Emily. In fact, that was the last that Emily Brown and Stanley heard from the Queen for quite a long while. Then one day, a couple of years later, when Emily was a little bit older, Just as Emily Brown and Stanley were exploring the outermost regions of the Milky Way, guess what? There was a rat-a-tat-tat on the kitchen door. You don't think the Queen's come back? Stanley again, do you? I'll have a quick look. No! There's a surprise. It was the postman. He had a letter for Emily Brown. And it just said, thank you. Who do you think that one was from? Wait a minute. Queen Gloriana III at the top there. Do you think that she had loved the teddy? Do you think she'd taken him and had adventures all of her own? Do you think that she'd made that horrible brand new teddy her own special toy? I think that's what had happened. Oh my goodness me. All the things she did to try and get Stanley of Emily. But Emily belonged to Stanley, and I'll bet you've got a special toy that belongs to you. I know I've got somebody who's very special. I wouldn't sell you to the Queen, not for all the toys in the world. You're very pleased about that. Yes, I'm very pleased about that. Right then, everybody, we're going to go now. It's time for Little Horse's tea. I can feel your tummy's empty, isn't it? Very, very empty. You're ready for an apple. I knew you would be. Little Horse loves apples more than anything else in the world. Right. Stay happy. Stay safe. Be good. And we'll see you next time for another story, shan't? Oh, you've got one all about cars next. Excellent. That's what I like to see. You never run out of stories, do you? I never ever run out of stories. Okay then. Say bye-bye, everybody. See you soon. I'm going to press the button then. There.